Welcome to another episode of Healing and Manifesting in the Hut. And today we're going to explore emotions a little further. Emotions have been on my mind a lot lately, and I really do teach through the short story reflections of the Stopping to Smell the Flowers series of how to get in touch with our emotions. It's done through short story. It's done between the lines. Somebody's going to get something different out of every story. And the real goal is for us to be present with our emotions. So I really do think that when we're present with our emotions, it leads to a thought, which then leads to inspired action. If we don't start with emotions, if we don't start with what's here, we start with the thought, a thought, which can often be negative, and then we can have action, which might not be inspired action, like for our highest good, and then we can wind up having an emotion, which is often self-judgment. If we're brave and we start with emotions and ask ourselves, what is here right now? I believe that is the path to manifesting the life of our dreams. And it's hard work. So I think there's 3 categories of emotions that we find when we tune in. One category of emotion is when something good is happening. That's the fun part of emotions. You're at a wedding, you're having fun, you feel on top of the world. Even when the weather's nice, we have great emotions. We have plans for whatever it might be, gardening or taking a summer trip. Those are the good emotions. So that's category number 1. When good things are happening, we feel great. Another emotion is when they show us we're in danger. That could be in danger from ourselves and our own ways of operating in the world. It can be in danger from others. So the emotions of like fear or scarcity can kind of show us we're in some sort of danger zone. Uncomfortable. And then the third emotion category is when something's changing for us in our lives. Those emotions are, I think, the most complicated and the most not straightforward. What's the word for not straightforward? The most backwards, the most uncomfortable. We want to get away from those emotions. But I want us to stick with this just for a little bit in today's video. What if we didn't shy away from those uncomfortable, sticky emotions when our lives are changing? When spirit is calling for a change in our lives, or when we are subconsciously asking to come out of a rut. It could be out of a rut of a way of thinking, a way of being, a current operating system that we no longer need. Those are the most difficult and complicated emotions to move through. And if I could give you one message today about those types of emotions in that type of scenario, when something's changing in our lives and we might not know what it is, but we feel the emotion first, I'd like to challenge us to say to ourselves, oh, good, change is coming. Now, nobody likes change. But this is the kind of change that's going to make our lives better. So let's name some of those emotions that might come from a big life change. It could be fogginess. It's not really an emotion, it's more of a symptom, but lack of clarity, tiredness, sadness, fear can come in. Then if we take those emotions and move to a thought, and if we could make our thought be, or invite our thought to be, oh good, change is coming. Positive change is coming from this shift. What's it going to take for me to shift out of this past operating system and into my new operating system that's going to bring me more joy and more abundance. What if we could say, oh, good, change is coming? That would likely lead to, even if it's a small step, a small inspired action step. And it could even be inspired action in terms of how we're handling ourselves and how gentle we're being with ourselves in the face of change. So it could become an action thought of, I'm going to be gentle with myself during this transition, which I do not know where it's headed. I'm going to ask myself, what do I need now? What do I need next? And I don't know about you, but for me, I'm still getting used to asking myself that question. What do I need? When I ask myself that question, I often draw a blank. But then I allow myself space to let that question settle. And I can often come up with one small thing that I need in this moment. It might be some food. It might be a cup of tea. It might be a nap. It might be a walk in the sunshine. And if we can just revel in those little moments, even in the face of change and even in the face of yucky emotions, if we can just put ourselves first periodically through the day, every day, and say, what do I need now? What do I need next? With loving kindness towards ourselves, we can help ourselves navigate some of those muckier emotions as we navigate change in our lives. Follow me at stoppingtosmelltheflowers.com. This YouTube channel is called Healing and Manifesting in the Hut. The handle is at The Real Stephanie Malo. My Facebook page is Stopping to Smell the Flowers, Extraordinary Observations of Everyday Life. Share this video with a friend that might be struggling. Play it again for yourself. Comment. Let's get a conversation going. Subscribe if you feel called to do that. It's just so fun to keep track of emotions here on this channel and see how we can move our energy and shift our energy to something joyful and with purpose and clarity. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stoppingtosmelltheflowers.com.